Hello, everyone, and welcome back for episode 18 of He Said, She Said. I'm your host, Eric.
And I'm Sierra.
And this week, we're going to be talking about a fairly interesting topic. We're going to be discussing music and sounds and how they can affect people's moods, their emotions, and even their memory.
And before we get started, I wanted to give a shout out to one of the Earthly products that we enjoy using for our son, which is Teeth Tamer. It's definitely becoming more useful the last couple weeks because he's getting his molars. The Teeth Tamer is a natural teething relief and has benefits such as reducing swelling, antibacterial, and promoting calmness. The all-natural ingredients include whole cloves, catnip, and filtered water. And you can find this product and other products that's in the link in our bio.
Yep. So to get started, I want to talk about Hertz. You know what that is.
Not the rental car company.
No, not the rental car company. So Hertz is just a unit of frequency of 1 cycle per second, right? This is, the change in a state of a sound wave, essentially its shape. So humans can normally only sense sounds between about 20 and 20,000 hertz, but animals generally have a much broader range.
And babies too.
Yeah, so as you're younger, you can hear higher frequencies,
Yep.
And as you start to age, those higher frequencies become pretty much obsolete.
Remember when I thought, because Alaric was having night terrors,
Mm-hmm.
and I was almost convinced that someone hacked into our hatch and was playing bad frequencies.
Yeah.
Because our hatch was doing weird things, and I did hear that people were getting their hatch hacked.
The hatch?
Yeah, because it's a
Wow.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah. The frequencies and everything, that's important to note because, believe it or not, there are certain frequencies that promote a positive, effect on people, plants, and animals. But at the same time, there's also certain frequencies that promote a negative effect as well.
Mm-hmm. It's not called spa music for no reason. There's a reason.
Yeah. So, and those frequencies, there's a lot of different, positive and negative frequencies, but the most common ones, your positive is about 963 hertz. And then the negative one is a lower frequency, and that's about 19 hertz. This is, going to induce kind of negativity or even fear.
Yep. And I'm sure we'll talk about it as we go on, but I guarantee there artists and other people are putting that in music, and whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of the background tone, but you don't really realize you hear it.
Yeah.
You do.
So
Same thing with movies, probably.
So it's interesting that you say that, you can't hear it. I'm about to kind of take the first part of your thing right here because 19 hertz is actually below the frequency that we can hear, right? But this is known as the fear frequency.
So you technically can't hear it, but you can hear it almost. You just don't realize you're hearing it?
No. So you technically don't hear it. But there's been studies and tests done that show that the human body can actually sense this. You get this ominous, whole body tingle, just bad feeling.
Okay. Yeah, I've definitely heard of that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's they do this with movies and, like you said, potentially music.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
Yep. All right. So back on to some of the positivities of the frequencies. There is actually such a thing as sound therapy, which uses specific hearing frequencies.
This sounds like something you would know.
I know this. Yeah. So sound therapy. There's even color therapy. But yeah, so it's you've heard of it. It's the singing bowls at Earthbound and. Yeah, so and then almost kind of the same as aromatherapy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely for a while when I was doing school here mostly, I would turn on you can even look it up on YouTube the type of frequency that you want to listen to, and they have it, and you can just study music and calming, a lot of your meditation music that you can meditate to. But
so I wonder if some of the music that we play on our YouTube channel for ASMR and our Good Vibes on Monday.
Yeah.
That probably has a lot of these frequencies in it.
Yep. these are the frequencies and what each one helps with. So the 174 hertz, this frequency releases pain and heals our sick auras. Yep, and then it can reduce lower back pain, foot pain, leg pain, and the 174 hertz also takes care of migraines and stress. It soothes the brain tissues and evokes feelings of love, courage, safety, and reassurance. The 174 hertz targets chakras and other healing parts of the body.
Yeah, so this is a little bit harder for me to kind of believe because, I don't know, I can't imagine that noise will actually reduce pain.
Yeah, so I know we're going to talk about it later on in this episode, but when I was trying to explain Astroworld to you, you seriously looked at me like I had 3 heads.
I still look at you like that.
Yeah, you do. But I'm like, no, babe, it was the frequencies. And he's like looking at me like I'm crazy. And then, of course, I had to get mad when he brought this topic to me because he acted like it was some new topic that we'd never talked about. I'm like, you never listened to me. Is there a frequency for that?
Yeah.
To make you listen to me?
Called the
Yeah. All right. So the 396 hertz, this sound helps remove fear and guilt, which also is helping balance the root chakra, and it can help you feel more grounded. It's also known to turn grief into joy and give you the boost that you need to reach your goals. And the 417 hertz is hailed for facilitating change on the physical level, including the physical body, and is also known to help dissolve feelings of trauma as well as many emotional blocks. And some say it brings new start to life. So I'm wondering, like, if you...
This is the breakup music.
Oh, okay. I was thinking...
I mean, that's all I can think of, but maybe not.
So when it says change on the physical level, I was thinking, like, maybe you should listen to this while you're working out.
Oh, maybe.
Or, like, maybe doing yoga. Because that's... I'm sure this type of frequency and, like, what it would be music as, like, it would be hard to work out to.
Yeah.
So something to do, like, yoga or, like, hot yoga.
Potentially. So staying on track here with some of those positive healing frequencies, there's also 432 hertz. This frequency targets your heart chakra. Tone soothes your soul, encourages mental and emotional clarity and openness. Listening to this tone can help with your spiritual growth.
Yep.
So then we have 444 hertz. This tone is also known as cerebral music. It massages your brain and soothes anxiety. Again, all this stuff.
So you can't even get through it without laughing.
Kind of difficult for me to comprehend because I don't see sounds and music like a lot of other people do. I guess I'm not just not as open to it.
Yeah, you aren't like a music person. Like,
oh yeah, not at all.
Like me and my brother, we are total music people.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember growing up, like we did a lot. Like we listened to a lot of music. I played the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
I think my brother tried to play the guitar. But yeah, I mean, we still like music and like we like all types of music.
Yeah. Well, getting back to this, your 440 hertz also strengthens your cognitive growth, awakens your third eye chakra. I'm sure this is something you might listen to.
I have, yeah.
So then we've got 528 hertz. This frequency may help promote miracles. Interesting.
Yeah.
Clarity and peace, as well as transformations like DNA repair. Again, I'm baffled at some of these. It's often credited with helping to remove illness and disease. Called the miracle note and love frequency, it reportedly rids the body of any toxicity, ushers in love and confidence, and balances out both your heart and solar plexus chakras.
So, I know that you don't listen to, like, K-Love or The Message, like, because we have Sirius.
No, I always ask you to change that channel.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like listening to it. Your mom listens to it.
Yep.
We play, like, in the car, we have Sirius radio.
Yeah.
So I play The Message, and then, like, here, when we are, like, in the house or whatever, we'll tell the smart speaker to play KSBJ, and every single, like, Christian channel like that, they all always do the 30-day challenge, like, listen to us only for 30 days.
Oh, gosh.
And people call in and they say, that changed my life. Like, I am such a more positive person. And
I'm sorry.
You're such an ass. And I wonder, like, if it's because they actually have positive hertz in their songs and they are, only doing positive music.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, probably their theory behind it.
Babe, you look at me, you know that the type, what we listen to in the car, like, seriously, I can't handle it sometimes. Like, what you put on, I'm like, I can't.
I can't handle yours.
At least mine's not stressful.
It is to me.
No.
It is.
It can't be.
I don't enjoy it.
It doesn't put you in a worse mood.
Okay, moving on. 639 hertz. This frequency could help to heal and promote relationships and reconnecting.
Should we play that right now?
Our relationship is fine, thank you.
Whatever, they all just heard us argue about our radio station.
Oh. It's said to produce positive feelings and encourage harmony and clear communication. It may also help you build a better relationship with yourself, nice try, and help you reflect on what is most important to you. 741 hertz. So listening to this level of solfeggio frequencies, I hope I pronounced that right, is reportedly fantastic for finding various solutions while allowing you to fully express yourself truthfully and in new ways. It's also rumored to improve emotional stability, allowing you the space and safety to tap into your intuition.
Clearly, you need to listen to that.
Maybe. 852 hertz. This frequency is said to help you connect to your intuition as well as the spiritual realms. Another perk. It might prevent you from overthinking.
I need that.
And delving deep into negative thought patterns. Yes, this is a perfect one for you.
I should go to sleep to that.
Yeah. As a result, your sense of self and inner strength are said to improve. You reach a new level of energy and spiritual awareness. Yeah, this one definitely sounds like it's like super up your alley.
Yeah, I actually have a few of them downloaded to my phone, like on my Apple Music.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of I think it's the 440 maybe? I'm not sure.
So, okay. So have you actually played any of them? Because
yeah.
When it's saying, this frequency level, I just imagine one frequency and that's all that it plays.
It'll play. I couldn't tell you like what the one frequency level sounds like because they play so many different things in it.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like just normal music.
Okay.
But if they were to just play like the hertz just over and over, almost like white noise, like I'm sure I would know, but they mix it in.
Okay, well that's a little bit better because, like I said, kind of thinking about just the single frequency, I'm thinking, man, that's got to get annoying.
Okay, so the one that I've had before is 432, and it's for deep concentration, focus. It's supposed to help with like ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then a lot of mine are 432 and 396. I've done 396 a bunch. And that one's the unlocking like blockages and negative healing and stuff.
So the last one that we have here is our 963 hertz. This frequency wakes up your intuition and crown chakra. It's a great way to raise your positive energy and vibrations, to kind of look deeper within yourself. 963 hertz helps you better connect to your inner self and reach your highest vibrational state. And I'm sure Sierra will talk about this in just a second. But in the right mood, you may even reach oneness and journey to the spiritual world. This frequency balances you out and also brings you to your original and perfect state. And that's why they mention 963 hertz as that really positive frequency.
All right. We briefly touched on like sound therapy. It was kind of just mentioned like a brief summary of the different types of therapy you can do. And so it was like aromatherapy, sound therapy, light therapy, color therapy.
This is in your holistic class?
Yeah. So it wasn't like we didn't dive deep into it. I always tell Eric every episode that we do something that like could correlate with my school, we do it the next week. So like we'll record this episode. I guarantee we're going to be talking about sounds next week.
Yeah, we literally recorded our foods and toxins episode 3 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
And Sierra had just finished her assignments and it was on foods and toxins at the grocery store last night.
Right. Yep. And so I was like, are you joking? Like this was great information. But so it was just kind of like a brief thing, but they did say that it does truly have an effect on your mood and your energy level, which has so much effect on your health.
Mm-hmm. So this, the 963 hertz, it talked about, your highest vibrational state. Can you kind of talk about that? Like, because you had mentioned maybe a couple episodes, but I know when we did what's it called?
Our manifesting?
Yeah, our manifesting. You were talking about bad vibrations
and
good vibrations. And
so basically, to keep your good vibrations, I think we just need to stay home. Don't drive anywhere in Texas. But yeah, it's kind of just like your positive mood, like the power of positive thinking and, just keeping yourself, positive and upbeat. And yeah, so things that can like lower your vibrational state is drinking alcohol.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Cause it's the way that somebody explained it. And it's funny that it's legal, but weed is illegal because alcohol is said to lower your vibrational state and also brings out like trauma and suppressed anger and suppressed emotions that you may not really even realize. And a lot of people think that, any type of trauma from like your past life or any, if you believe in that stuff but so even if you don't like realize like when you're drinking and you're intoxicated, like you're like, why am I so angry? Why am I starting a fight right now?
So you're saying we should not drink when we're in Vegas this upcoming week?
I don't really plan on drinking that much, but I'm just saying, like, it's essentially like, quote, evil spirits, I guess.
Huh.
So it's lowering your vibrational state, bringing out anger, and it's just not good. And I just find that ironic that it's legal, but then weed is illegal, and that is said to raise your vibrational state. And because you're so, honestly, like I said in the car the other day, how many people have you known that's been like disorderly when they've been smoking weed?
Yeah. Not too many that I could think of.
Yeah. Like, can you imagine? Like, I can't, because every person that I've ever been around or whatever, it's like they just legit. It's like they just legit like chill on the couch and just, eat their snacks. And
so it's funny you say that. When I was in high school, it was my history teacher. He had asked the student, super intelligent, super smart guy, but also huge pothead, right?
Yeah.
He said, should they legalize weed?
Yeah.
And the guy's answer was no.
Why?
He said, because I turned into a couch potato.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, he thinks, granted, we've pretty much legalized it already. There's some states that have it completely legal, some that have it certain,
amounts,
laws, and then some states that still don't have it, legal. But for the most part, I wouldn't say that there's been like a huge drop off anywhere.
Yeah, I guess now that I am a stay-at-home mom, whatever, I don't care if people know, but look at me when I eat those gummies and
yeah,
I'm fine. I'm functional.
Carol.
Oh my gosh. I have a Squishmallow and it's a Christmas tree and its name is Carol. And Eric was funny one night. But yeah, I'm in a super chill mood. But I don't really think I've been like ever drunk around you. Have I?
Maybe once.
Yeah. But I'm also like giddy, I guess, when I'm giggly and fun. But I know some people that are just not.
Yeah. So it seems like alcohol is something that, brings down your vibrational state, promotes negativity, and marijuana actually brings up your vibrational state and promotes positivity and kind of openness.
Yeah, and just inner calmness and like inner acceptance and happiness and peace, all the things. Hippie Sierra.
Yeah.
And just for a disclaimer, I always wait until a lark is asleep so everyone can calm down.
Oh, yeah. So we've talked about sound waves. Let's go ahead and move a little bit into music.
Okay. So we all know that it's about money for most of the corporations, but if you didn't know that music streaming sites actually collect data that will stream and suggest songs to change your mood that leads you to stay on the app and increase user time, and therefore that increases their revenue with advertisers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also kind of like what Facebook does.
Okay, so it's funny you say that because I was literally going to talk about that. Yeah, because, we had mentioned this before, how social media and streaming services with advertisements will use what you've been searching for, sometimes just what you've even been talking about to show ads for that. And since you're already talking about it, searching for it, you're more likely to purchase it and when you see it in those ads.
And so I've heard things like Target, department stores, shopping malls, like they play certain music that has that type of frequency that like puts you in a good mood to like spend your money.
Yeah.
And same thing with like the lighting. They have certain lighting in certain areas. And there's a job that it's called something like a structural visualist or something, and like they figure out where to place things so that it's caught by your eye, but then also like pretty much right under the perfect lighting and right by probably like one of the speakers. And
yeah, I mean, these huge companies,
scents too, they'll put like scents out.
Yeah, these huge companies, I mean, they do a lot of research and studying on what triggers what in the human body,
and of course they don't want us to know that.
No, but I mean, well, if you do your research and look into it, you'll see it all. But even then, it's still hard to actually pick out
like what it is specifically. Yeah.
But music is an interesting one. I'm not huge into it. Sierra will tell you, but my music isn't for everyone.
Gosh.
There was a buddy of mine back at my last job. It's like me and him, we like the same music, the Octane.
Oh my gosh, I got in the car today to go get my nails done, and freaking Octane was on, and I was like, ah.
Yeah, I prefer that, the heavy, loud music, or like a pop punk rock type, late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, I'll listen to that. I'll listen to your Blink-182.
Yeah, so you can't go wrong with all the small things.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll do the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
But I can't, and I'll even do 80s rock. Like I will do 80s rock all day.
Yeah.
But I can't do Octane. That's too much.
I mean, it is what it is. I like it.
Stresses me out.
So yeah, it stresses you out, and I'm like,
that's some trauma.
I could sleep through this.
You've got some trauma to work through.
I don't think I do though.
Yeah, well.
So there is evidence though that music plays a large role in emotional processes within the brain. An individual's emotional state of mind can directly impact daily cognition, behavior, and studies have shown that music has the ability to regulate a wide range of both positive and negative emotions.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did look up some things about autism and stuff, and they did mention like music therapy.
Yeah, so, okay, I know, and this is, besides the fact, but I was thinking actually earlier, since we had just mentioned, the low frequency is, that negative frequency. It's usually a lower frequency noise that comes on that makes a lark shake his head.
Yeah, you're right.
The water, hitting the drain, the faucet, anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's the water, it's the lawnmowers. There's this one particular vacuum that I have that he doesn't like. The mixing bowls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
But despite some exceptions, music that triggers happy or positive emotion is more likely to be in a major key and at a brisk tempo, while melancholic, peaceful, or romantic pieces tend to be either slower or in minor keys or both. And then music intended to frighten is often discordant with strong or irregular rhythms and large changes of dynamics.
And see, that goes back to why I don't really like watching certain things when a lark's in the room. I think he absorbs more than what you think, babe. Because
yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does.
Yeah, so just like I really don't want him around the news. I mean, we've already talked
Game
about
of Thrones
that.
when we watched that.
Yeah, literally, like he woke up when we were 5 minutes into the other episode of Game of Thrones, and I paused it.
Yeah.
And Eric's like, we can keep watching it. I'm like, well, first of all, no, we can't, because I can't focus when he's like awake and like trying to play with me, and I play with him too. And two, because it's terribly violent. So even if he's like not watching it, he still hears it.
Yeah.
And he pays attention to a lot of things. So
yeah.
I don't like, honestly, even like the Vampire Diaries. I don't even like to play that when he's in the room. But Okay, so I'm glad that you talked about the effects on emotions because the next one is really interesting to me because it's about music and mind control.
Sounds like it's something that would interest you.
Yeah. So some think that it's a conspiracy, but believe it or not, a lot of music artists have actually came out and stated that a large portion of music is used for mind control.
So when I was looking into this, it's funny, but one of the artists or groups was the Wu-Tang Clan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Don't even know who that is.
That's okay.
Okay. We grew up so different. So this will be a great time for me to talk about Astroworld.
Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of people have heard about what happened at Astroworld.
Yeah.
And just kind of the tragedy that took place. But if you haven't, basically it was a music festival here in Houston. And who was the main guy?
Travis Scott, I think.
Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a music festival that took place here in Houston. The main performer was Travis Scott because he is from Houston. But there was a couple other artists there.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know who they were because I don't listen to that type of music too often. But so basically what happened was it was this massive festival, and I've been to festivals, and so like you pay a ticket, there's no like seating. It's just like a free for all. So people got there, they probably oversold tickets.
Oh yeah, I bet they did.
And there was too many people at the concert, at the festival that, really didn't fit there. They didn't have enough security. It was just a nightmare. But so they did interviews of people that were there, and so the festival was all day. And then they showed people like laying on the ground. So of course they're drinking, they're doing drugs, like hardcore drugs. And people were talking about there's people walking around just like hitting people up with fentanyl, and that was confirmed by a police officer.
Yeah.
So bad vibes all around. And then they were playing this tone over the loudspeaker pretty much the whole day, and it was the low vibration. And when Travis Scott was performing, there's this one clip, and he's just standing like at the stage. People are literally screaming like, we can't move, we can't breathe, all this stuff. Because that's what happened. Like everyone rushed the stage, and literally people couldn't put their arms down. Like if like their hands were up, like cheering, but then everyone was so packed that you could not put your arms down, and people were like getting crushed.
Yeah, it sounds awful.
There was a video of like parents holding their kids up. I mean, can you imagine like
hell no
thinking I have to hold my child above my head, and if I drop them, like they're gonna die. And that's what happened. Like people died, and because they got crushed and suffocated. And so there's a video of all this happening, and nobody could move. Like at that point everyone was just squished.
Yeah.
And people were yelling and screaming, and multiple people were trying to like get security, get the camera crews to tell them to stop, and they just didn't. And Travis Scott, it was the low frequency hum, and he was just like doing a low frequency hum in his mic and just like staring at all of them. It was so demonic. It was so creepy. I mean, I wasn't there, but I watched like the videos that people shared. It's so creepy. And a lot of people think that it was intentional, like low frequencies, bad vibes. And
yeah, I know there's definitely been a whole lot of talk about the low frequencies with the concert and everything, like the Astroworld.
And that was like when I came to talk to you about it. I was like, oh my gosh, this happened. And I was like, babe, I guarantee it was low frequency music, and they were playing the negative hertz, and you're just looking at me like, what are you even saying?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't pay 2 cents to it at that point.
But then also, so this is a side note too, but in the Bible, Satan was the one who played music and was like the fiddler, and it's just ironic that music can put such bad vibes in when it was Satan. But anyways, yeah, so I was trying to tell you about Astroworld, and I said that I was like, what if they're putting it out like in our 5G towers or something that we don't know about, or anywhere that they could, and like we don't necessarily hear it, but they're putting it out there. So
no, it's definitely interesting.
Yep. Oh yeah, and then remember when we talked about MK Ultra?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
one of their methods was to attempt mind control. They use music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went I wonder if they figured it out. Like, oh my gosh, it does work. And so then they're just like putting it out through 5G towers, through commercials, through the radio, through like literally everything that we listen to. I'm just saying, just little spitballs, you know.
You don't want to save that for another episode, huh?
No. But, okay, so not only could it be used for mind control, but it can also be used as a form of psychological torture.
I feel like this is also up your alley.
The psychological torture I feel when we listen to Octane. It's there.
Oh.
So this generally tends to be done in an extremely bright or a completely dark room, and having music with low frequencies played in a extremely high decibel level for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So can you imagine, like, it's the brightest room you've ever been in, and they're playing that type of music over and over and over, and like, I mean, your eyelids are probably taped up, and you can't blink, you can't do anything, and
Yeah.
then they're also flashing things at you on the screen, like strobe flashing, and it's just horrible pictures, like tragic scenes and stuff, but like, so you can't consciously grasp it, but your
Right.
subconscious is grasping it, and that's what messes people up.
That's, a lot of this, with the music, the frequencies and everything, it is all subconscious.
Yeah, and people don't realize how big that actually is.
Yeah.
Your subconscious mind does so much.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, just touching on that torture part, if anybody has seen the TV show Ozark, this goes into when Jason Bateman was in Mexico at the cartel house, and, they threw him in that kind of dungeon with, one opening up top, and they had those super bright construction lights.
Oh, yeah.
They were shining on him. They were bright, they were hot, and then they were playing that super loud, crazy rock metal music just 24/7. That is the torture and everything that
It will break you.
Yeah. Okay, we'll roll into the last bit here, and that's music, sounds, and memory. It's fairly interesting, but this is also something that has been proven in studies, and I've kind of experienced it too myself. So it's said that if you're doing something, say you're studying, you got your headphones on, and you're listening to some music in the background, well, if you take that same music and you put it on when you go to take the test, believe it or not, that music can actually spark your memory, and you will remember, what you were studying.
They used to say that about gum, too.
So that's what I was just about to say. It's actually said to be true for your, sense and taste as well.
Never worked for me.
No.
Nope, I tried it. Didn't work.
So
I was just such a nervous.
if you had some lobster ravioli, it wouldn't bring you back to our first date at Bravo.
No.
Oh, that's disappointing.
That was good, though. I also, before that, I drank a glass of wine, and I think I took 2 shots, so I was a little relaxed.
Yep. So, music, sound, effects it has on everything. It's definitely an interesting topic. There's a lot that we've talked about that I didn't even know myself.
Yeah, and we should talk about color next time, too, how color affects.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely something that we can kind of dig into.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny because this is actually a topic from one of our listeners.
Which is so irritating because I brought it up before.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's actually a good friend of mine.
So we gotta tell the story now. Get this. All right, guys. So I tell Eric all these things. I'm like, this. And he's like, okay, that's great. And then his friend, who is like the same person as me,
yeah, we've talked about it before on this.
Yeah, he comes up and he's like, dude, tell these topics. And Eric's like, those are great. And he comes to me and he's like, babe, look at these topics. I'm like, I said those.
He was really excited about them. He actually, started outlines for us.
I know, that's great.
Subtopics and ideas.
No, I'm not joking him. Yeah, he's great. That was great. I'm glad. Thank you for doing that because it got Eric's attention finally. I'm glad somebody can.
Yeah, so okay, and believe it or not, the next few episodes that we have are actually suggestions from him.
Yeah.
So that being said, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We do listen.
We actually do, yeah.
Yeah, and
he listens to you guys. He doesn't listen to me. So please reach out.
yeah, so if there's a topic that you might want to hear about or could be an interesting conversation, shoot us a message on our Instagram at ACS Entertainment LLC. Make sure you click that link in our bio. You can listen to the podcast there, subscribe to our YouTube, and you can also get some Great Earthly products.
Yeah.
We want to thank you all again for joining us, and make sure you tune in next week for another new episode of He Said, She Said.